He's like,
The Holy Spirit took over.
and no one cares about sprints.
I care about the sprint. McLaren
It's the world championship
I have some thoughts about that.
He's Max freaking Verstappen. He should always be on your radar.
We get to the juicy bits.
Love the juicy bits.
I'm not a scientist.
Overtake King.
Yeah.
That restart, by the way, from Oscar Piastri.
Cheeky.
Diabolical. There's been lots of drivers. It's hard to keep them all straight. And we're live. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is Why Are You Yelling? Welcome back to another F1 team preview. Today we are talking I keep saying that. This episode, we are talking about the 2026 Aston Martin team.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
So, Lord, that's been disappointing. So, before we even get into all that, if you need a little refresher of Aston Martin, they've been one of the most ambitious projects on the grid. A lot of money has went into this. I mean, so much money, in fact, that they snabbed Adrian Newey, who was like one of the biggest like engineers, I guess, over at Red Bull.
Snabbed?
I said snagged, whatever. They stole him.
I'm sorry.
Snabbed? I mean,
They snabbed.
they stabbed him, snagged him, and got him. I don't know, but he works for them now.
Okay.
So he left Red Bull, and he's over now at Aston Martin, and a lot of figures I think have went over to Aston Martin as well. I mean, it's been like a really like long-term project. Like
They've been pulling like the best of the best from different teams.
they've been trying.
Or trying to like piecemeal it together.
So the drivers, we have Fernando Alonso, who is a GOAT. We love Fernando. He's awesome. And then we have Lance Stroll. And then we have team principal Adrian Newey as well. So
Who's also a GOAT.
is he is also a GOAT. And not only is he like helping design the car, he's now team principal. And chief strategy officer is Andy Cowell. So I guess maybe even before regulation started, the big question was going to be, okay, well, they now have, like, Aston Martin got Honda engines, and they got Adrian Newey. What's 2026 going to look like? And we're going to talk about how that looks so far in a little bit.
But first, we can talk about just a recap of last season, kind of what went right, what went wrong. So after sort of like a slow start to the season last year for Fernando Alonso, he rebounded once they got some upgrades during like the mid-season and scored consistently through the second half of the season.
Yeah.
So Fernando was like, we're kind of like, where's he at? What's going on? The first little bit of the season last year, I remember
Yes.
being like, what's happening, my guy?
Exactly.
And he's like, this car is a piece of shit.
I know. Poor Alonso.
But they figured some stuff out. And so, he did better. He improved.
Yeah.
But we're still holding out hope we can get a minimum podium for Fernando Alonso.
I have to have that.
Minimum podium.
Minimum.
I would be so excited.
That's like the only thing that might equal it would be right below Lewis getting a podium, because at this point, I just know in my heart, like, Lewis is going to get it. I just don't know what race, but like Alonso getting it feels like it's got to happen right now. Like
or it might never. It's now or never.
Just because he's talked about retiring. Please don't. Like, no, he's a rookie. We have two rookies.
Yeah.
Fernando Alonso and our third Lindblad.
He's officially not a rookie anymore.
He's a rookie every season. He's just a rookie. So that being said,
Longest tenured rookie ever.
Yes, that's a fact. But yeah, no, that would satisfy me.
Yeah.
Beyond satisfy me.
I feel like it's one of those situations where it's similar to like Nico Hülkenberg last year, where it's like the conditions, if they're just right and something goes, just like one thing goes his way, Fernando Alonso's got a podium in the bag.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, too, I already hear people. We're well aware that he's a two-time world champion and Nico Hülkenberg has never had a podium before ever.
In my era of my Formula One era,
Yes.
I have not seen this Fernando Alonso that people speak of.
100%, yeah.
I don't know him. That's a different version of him. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, we haven't been able to meet him or see him yet because of the car.
Yeah.
So that's what we want.
Also, what went right last year, he did finish in the top 10 of the driver standings.
Yes.
So at least in the top half. So what went wrong last season? So Aston Martin finished 7th in the team constructor standings, 2 places down from the previous 2 seasons.
Ooh.
So not so great.
No.
And Lance Stroll had an early season high point, that didn't translate really well into like the rest of the season. So, and I remember talking about like Lance Stroll was quietly doing pretty well at the beginning of last season because I feel like he does not get the TV coverage. Even when he's making moves and doing like overtakes, they just don't put the camera on him ever.
No, they don't. And we've talked about how they're a tad bit shady towards him. I mean, the only time if a mistake happens and it's Lance, that will be on TV.
Yes.
If they're in Canada, because that's his home, that's where he's from, they talked about him some there. And Joylyn Palmer, who I love, was a tad bit shady.
He does not like Lance. Or it seemed in that particular broadcast.
I think he's just very blunt and very just, and whatever. But so, they don't feel like Lance doesn't get spoken about a lot.
Yeah. But he did pretty solid at the beginning. Like he had some solid performances, was in the points, making some moves.
Yeah.
And then that kind of just petered out. And then it was, nothing really to talk about.
No.
So, so the kind of defining storyline heading into this season is all the money that Aston Martin has spent. Is that going to be worth it?
Yeah, I guess are we going to see like instant, like how much development has really went into this? Because Adrian Newey was supposed to be developing the 2026 car when he came onto the project. He was not supposed to be helping with the 2025 car. So we're gonna find out, and we'll talk about it a little bit.
And for those who don't know, Adrian Newey, why it's such a big deal is that he was like. He's been in Formula One for a very long time, like decades. And he was sort of like the master of like the ground effect era of the cars. So he's the one that kind of like figured that out and really like is known for being like an engineering sort of genius.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even before the ground effect era, I mean, he's the one that designed Sebastian Vettel's winning Red Bull. I mean, he's been with Red Bull for, I mean, almost since they started, maybe their genesis as a team. But if not, I mean, very early on. I mean, so like, he's been a part of Red Bull's success since like Sebastian Vettel. So if we look at what's changed since last year, nothing's changed in the driver lineup. The leadership structure is basically the same. I mean, Adrian Newey is now team principal, but the thing that everyone's really looking at is the Honda engines that they now have. So a little bit of a refresher, like we said a moment ago, Adrian Newey was, kind of the genius behind Red Bull's success, but he was working with Honda as well. He's now went to Aston Martin, where he will now be partnering with Honda once again. So can that be replicated? Not to mention, Aston Martin is now using their first in-house gearbox and suspension after they were previously using Mercedes components. So there's a lot of newness going into this project that a lot of eyes are on. So, and I mean, the team has pretty much stated as well, they don't expect this to be an overnight success story, but that's every team's kind of saying that, and especially during a new regulation era. We've said this every single preview so far. It's not going to be overnight, and we don't know where we stand. But yeah,
I feel like that's just the catch-all. That's the if things aren't going according to plan, that's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Exactly.
Is that it's a process, and I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like
I want some cockiness in there.
I feel like with Aston Martin, they've been we knew pretty early on last season, Adrian Newey. I feel like it was pretty early on. Or was it the middle of the season? When did we know?
We knew Adrian Newey in 2024.
I almost thought it. It's been like 2 years.
He
or
left
a year and a half.
in the middle of 2025, I believe.
But he had to have what they call a gardener leave.
Yeah, something.
Usually, so if you're in a higher level position with a Formula One team and you go to another team, they have what's called, I think, like a gardener leave or gardening leave, I think is what they say. But basically, you have to have, there's a certain amount of time. I think usually it's 6 months to a year. I think, don't quote me on that. But there's a certain amount of time that they're not allowed to work for the new team yet. Like it's basically you take like a sabbatical. Because they don't want you taking all the information and inside know-how from one team to the other.
Yeah, but I think I think part of the thing was he wasn't, all the knowledge he was taking per se was he wasn't supposed to work on the 2025 car, please. But yeah, it was at that moment, that like era, or I guess that time period of just
so any information he would have had for that particular era and of regulations wouldn't have mattered for the project he would supposedly that he was moving to with Audi, because he was focusing on the new car and the new regulations.
Aston Martin. You said Audi.
I said there's too many freaking A named teams now.
How many are there?
Aston Martin, Audi, Alpine.
Okay, fair. Okay.
There's another one. I was looking at it the other day. I was like, there's a lot.
I literally was like, I just forgot about Alpine. So what have the new regulations looked like so far for Aston Martin? So we've had the testing they had in Barcelona, which was like in January-ish or whatever. And then we've had 2 weeks of testing in Bahrain. Y'all, it's not looked good. It has not looked good. A difficult start test. Aston Martin, they were chasing mileage and answers more than any type of headline. The performance, I mean, both drivers and the trackside leadership feel and have acknowledged that they're missing pace, grip, and balance. So all of it. Something's wrong. And
nothing.
The reliability hit, which there's been a trend in testing where if things seem reliable, that's like gold almost. That's where Aston Martin seems to have some problems. So the final day of testing was especially grim, just 6 laps before stopping early due to a shortage of Honda power unit parts. And it seems the Honda power unit is not good, which is obviously a punch in the gut considering everything Aston Martin has done for this project.
Oh, yeah,
all the money being poured in.
I was getting to the point of, and I literally forgot the point I was trying to make when I was talking about Adrian Newey's gardening leave, but I was getting to the point of like, with all the money that Aston Martin has invested, all the money they would have had to pay to get Adrian Newey to come work with them, you know, they've been working toward this goal and they've been saying 2026 is like really where we're focusing and that's when we expect to start making significant like progress, right? As Aston Martin. And I'm just like, all this talk, all this time, we knew Adrian Newey was coming over, 2 years ago. And this is where we're saying we don't have expectations? I disagree. I have expectations. And they're not meeting them.
I don't think they met. I feel like everybody else feels that way too. They're like, oh, we're going to have to rewind. Reel it in.
Pump the brakes, as it were. So looking at what the team has said publicly about these issues, Lance Stroll has been blunt. The car isn't where they want it to be on performance, and there's, quote, a lot of work ahead to unlock more from the package. The team has admitted they're behind schedule and still have significant performance to find. And some of the context they've leaned on is that it's a lot of new at once. So we've got Newey's first car with them, the Honda engine integration. That was hard for my mouth.
Honestly, words are hard today.
Yeah, and then the new components, and they expect it may take some time to get everything to kind of gel together.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what I'm hearing is a lot of excuses.
Ooh,
that's what I'm hearing.
Ooh,
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being blunt like Lance Stroll. I'm just saying how it is.
So what this might mean for Aston Martin in 2026. It looks like a lot of the focus is going to be on let's not damage the car because we got to learn a lot and we can't be damaging it all the time, having to repair it on a car we don't even understand in the first place. They've got to get better reliability when it comes to mileage. They've got to learn how to stabilize it. And they just need to have an actual reliable baseline before really they can make any progress at all. So it almost seems to me like we're going to be watching Aston Martin working from the ground up. Like it doesn't really seem like there's a lot that they've nailed. So I feel like we're going to see a lot of experimentation, and I would imagine they're going to be the back of the pack trying to just make the car work because we've got years with these regulations, and if this is how it's already looking, unless Adrian Newey literally just wakes up from a fever dream and fixes the car overnight, then I don't expect to see a lot of competitiveness from them. So
I just had in my head when you were saying that, I had a flash to the F1 movie.
Yeah.
When the woman is in the head engineers and she's like trying to figure out how we can make the cars follow closer in the corners. And
what did he say? It's got to fight in the dirty air. Well, don't you think if it was that easy, they all did?
All she did was design a new side pod or something, and they put that on, and then it worked. And I'm like, that's all. that was
I wonder if when
head.
Adrian Newey watched that, he goes, "What the? Don't you think if that was possible, they'd all be doing it?" Sorry.
I digress.
The upside of things, they've got nice facilities. They have a lot of investments going. They've got Adrian Newey, testing, however, has suggested that the first few races are going to be more about surviving than anything else. So yeah, I mean, I think in Melbourne, if we can even have somewhat of any sort of reliability, that's going to be a win. Because at this point,
if they can make it through the race,
at this point, because it's not been going great.
You know, we should, Aston Martin, we should set achievable goals. Let's not overreach. First goal, get through a race. Get through a weekend and just get over the finish line.
Yep.
With the car intact.
Get the miles in.
Yeah. That's our goal.
Yep.
Which is a shame that is,
but it's where we are.
Is that low.
But it's where we are.
Just, being blunt, like Lance Stroll.
But it's where we are.
Okay, so yeah, the main storylines to watch are the Honda integration with that engine, watching how Adrian Newey is going to function as a team principal, because that is a role he has not occupied previously. Yeah. So this will be new to him. I'm interested to see him in interviews because, the team principals do talk to the media more than other team members do, obviously other than the drivers. So I feel like we haven't really, I don't know that I've ever seen an interview with Adrian Newey, or I may have seen like a small clip of one. I couldn't tell you what he looked like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just haven't seen him enough. Like if I saw like Zach Brown on the street, I would know it was him. If I saw Mattia Binotto, I would know it was him. If I saw Andrea Stella, I would know that was him. I would not know Adrian Newey from any other man passing me by.
Wow. Okay.
That's unfortunate. But we're going to get to know him.
Yeah. Unless he just is like really quiet and he makes the other dude like make somebody else talk to the media.
That's true.
But we'll find out.
And then Alonso versus the car is another headline. Can they give Fernando Alonso something stable enough to extract some sort of performance? And for Lance Stroll, we just want to see him be a little more consistent. But again, I don't know that what we're going to see until they can get the car under control.
Exactly. So at this point, it's the drivers are only going to be able to do so much. So for Aston Martin, it seems the question is how quickly are they going to find reliability? Mm-hmm. How quickly do you think?
I mean, I don't know if summer break is a realistic goal or not. It's so hard to tell. We just really won't know until I can give you a better answer after Australia. After Australia, I can tell you definitively how long it'll take after I watch Australia, because I know so much about cars.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think if anyone could turn it around, if there were some issues, it would be Adrian Newey would be the one to
100%
to get it done. But I don't know. We'll see. But you let us know.
Yeah. How do we think Aston Martin is going to be at the start of the season? Do we think they will continue to have reliability issues until summer? Do we think they're going to hammer it out at all? Do we have any predictions? Do we think we'll see them in the points before summer or at all this year?
Ooh.
I'm going to make a prediction that Fernando Alonso will be in the points before the summer break.
Okay.
I'm going to make that.
That's a pretty good...
Because it's Fernando Alonso.
Pretty good range there.
Yeah, I've got a while.
Good chunk of time. Several months. So
let us know what you think, and we will talk at you at the next one. Bye.
Bye.